In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the integration between the Stark API and an Octoprint 3D printer interface. If you don't know what Octoprint is, check out their website. I'll link it up here in the video. But basically, it's software that runs that can be used to control your 3D printer without connecting it to your computer. This feed you're seeing here is from the time-lapse camera connected to Octoprint, which you generally would use to record your prints, but in this case you can see in real time the commands that I'm issuing to the printer. Within Stark here, I'm using a REST API that exists within Octoprint to send commands to the 3D printer and get information back from it. In this case, I created a job here that'll simply start the 3D printer. We're going to turn on a SmartThings switch, Z-Wave switch, to provide power. We're going to wait 10 seconds for everything to power on, and then we're going to tell Octoprint to go ahead and connect to the printer, and so we can do something with it. To do all this, I'm going to be using the Bash integration that I've demonstrated before, but I also have the Stark voice turned on here through my computer speakers, so hopefully that'll come across in the microphone as well. So to get this started, we'll just do
turning 3D printer switch on.
And if you could hear that, the 3D printer is actually right behind me.
What
So
do you want? Connecting Octoprint to the 3D printer.
So there you heard a few things. The switch was turned on, and Stark notified that he's trying to connect to the 3D printer with Octoprint. You'll see down here in the connection area, we're actually detecting the baud rate between Octoprint and the 3D printer over the USB cable. So when this finishes, we'll get a notification that it was successful, and then this status will change to the online status. The printer's ready for us to do something with it.
Octoprint is connected to the 3D printer.
So there you go. Now the connection is ready, and just to test it out here quick, we can ask
The printer is online and ready.
so now the printer is online and ready for us to do something. Going back to the list of jobs here,
Problem Vega casks is down.
you can see that there is a change filament command. And the change filament command, the idea behind it is to just get the printer in a position where it's easy to change out the currently loaded filament and change it to something different. A couple different things happen here. We're going to set the temperature profile. I have several different profiles set up for PLA or ABS or different types of filament that all have different temperature requirements. So depending on what's currently in the printer, we'll load the right temperature. We're going to move all three of the axes to their home position, and then we're going to move some of them to get the extruder right here in a position where it's just easier to access to get the spool removed. So we're going to go ahead and do that because I'm going to change out the filament. So here you'll actually be able to see this move. I'm going to go ahead and move this window down a little bit so we can maybe see both at the same time. And just to get this a little easier to see here, I'm going to go ahead and move the extruder manually, just so you can get a sense for the movement.
What temperature profile would you like to use? Setting a printer to the temperature profile PL. You're the boss. Moving the z-axis -30 millimeters. Moving the x-axis 50 millimeters.
So there you can see all the movements that happened, and then if we go to the temperature control, you can see that we've set the extruder to 205 degrees Celsius, which is the temperature I wanted for PLA. One thing I wanted to point out here is this set temperature profile command. You'll see I have set bed set to false. Normally, when you would set a temperature profile, you'd want both the hot end and the bed to rise to the correct temperature. But in this case, we only care about the hot end, so I'm manually telling it, I want to use this temperature profile, but I want you to leave the bed temperature alone, which is why we only set the one. You could very easily adapt this command to set both if you were trying to manually set a temperature for some other reason. While we're waiting for that to get up to temperature here, I'll show you a few of the other commands. You can cancel a print job. You can check what the bed temperature is. You can check what the extruder temperature is. You can set both the bed and the extruder temperatures manually by giving it at a number of degrees in Celsius. Or you can just ask what the printer status is, like we did before. And then finally down here, you can actually start a print job if there is one loaded. This picture command, I'll show you here towards the end. It will actually use the built-in camera to take a snapshot, and you can send that to a device that has picture enabled, such as SMS or an instant message, if you have that sort of integration going. So it looks like the temperature is probably set or very close to it. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here so I can change the filament out, and then I'll come back and we'll attempt to print.